Hello and welcome to Theology on Tap. And right now, I would like to talk about the best movie. Well, I can't say best movie. My favorite movie of all time. It's called Streets of Fire. Came out in 1984, I believe. It was directed by Walter Hill. And Walter Hill is a guy who brought The Warriors back in the late 70s, I believe. And he did the 48 Hours. And I really liked his style, and I was looking forward to this film because of The Warriors. Now, Warriors became a very popular movie. I don't remember if you are old enough to remember that when it came out in the movie theater, there were gang fights in it and whatnot. So a lot of the movie theaters wouldn't play the film. But it still did okay in the movie theater, and of course it became a cult classic. And the rumor is that Walter Hill is planning on bringing The Warriors back as TV series. However, my favorite movie of all time, Streets of Fire. It only made $5.5 or so million, so it wasn't very popular. I think the reason why it wasn't popular is because it was about 20 years ahead of its time. I think if it were to come out today, it would do a much better job. It's such a great movie that I saw the movie maybe 5 times in the movie theater. I had a video of it, DVD. I even had HD DVD of the movie, and now it came out on Blu-ray about 2 weeks ago. And on Blu-ray, it's great because the songs is so much louder. The soundtrack of the film is great. I don't know if most of you have not seen this film, so you might not know, but Nowhere Fast is a great song. Tonight is What It Means to Be Young. That is a song that I like to listen to when I'm a little down. It gets me up, makes me want to go out and do something fun. I Can Dream About You was a big hit in 1984, but it's too bad the movie wasn't. But it's something that you should watch. Rent it, buy it, definitely see it. The movie is what you call a rock and roll fable. It's a made-up story, I guess, but it has a 1950s feel to it. It is, I guess, one of the coolest movies you ever see because every character in this film are, tough. They're badasses, I guess. And we got Michael Pare playing the hero of the movie, Tom Cody. And from the rumor, I'm not sure if this is 100% correct or not, but Walter Hill's plan was to make 3 movies on Tom Cody, so it's gonna be a series. It's kind of like John Wick or something, right? And his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, played by Diane Lane. Okay, Diane Lane plays a character called Ellen Ames. She's a rock and roll star, and of course, this is a rock and roll fable, so of course, it's got a lot of music and a lot of songs in it. Ellen Ames is the singer. She lip syncs. Diane Lane lip syncs a lot of the songs, of course. But it kind of makes the songs like her own, so it looks very believable. And Diane Lane is amazing. She's beautiful. She plays the character perfectly. And so the story is about Tom Cody and Ellen Ames. They used to be together, but they break up because Ellen Ames is gonna be a great big star, and Tom Cody's just a tough guy who, he's not gonna fit in just following his girlfriend around. So they break up. He joins the army. They break up. She goes on to become a huge star. And then at the beginning of the movie, we see that she gets kidnapped. And she gets kidnapped by Willem Dafoe's character. And Willem Dafoe plays the villain. And I also believe this was the first movie that he has made, at least the first movie that was a major film. And he plays the villain perfectly. He is one freaky looking guy in this movie. And also, the reason why he kidnaps the girl, very simple. There's no hatred or anything. He tells her in the movie that, hey, we could fall in love for a week or two, and I'll return you. He's not such a bad guy. He just gets excited around pretty girls. I mean, that's what he says. So Tom Cody's character comes back to the city, and his task is to go out and save his ex-girlfriend, and he gets hired by Ellen Ames' manager or current boyfriend, played by, what's his name again? That funny man, Rick Moranis, right? And Rick Moranis, if you remember from Ghostbusters, he's the funny guy, he's the comedian. But in this movie, he plays a really tough guy, and it's believable. You know, he fits the character really well, in my opinion. And he's this little guy who is the current boyfriend of Ellen Aim. And Tom Cody, played by Michael Pare, who is his ex-boyfriend who goes out and saves her. Right? And that tension between those two characters are pretty funny, and it's nicely done. In fact, Tom Cody says to Rick Moranis' character, you know, the problem with kicking your ass is that it will be too easy. Right? It's a good line. So he saves her, brings her back safely, but Willem Dafoe's character, the villain, is really upset about the fact that, you know, he lost this girl that he kidnapped. So he comes to the town and says, I just want to have a mano-a-mano fight, right, with Tom Cody. And the police tells Tom Cody, you got to get out of the city. There's not going to be a fight. Right? And then by this time, Ellen Aim's character says, I'll go with you with Tom Cody. And this is where I think the one of the great scenes comes. I mean, it makes sense to me personally. I really like it. And by the way, the feel of the movie is 1950s, and it's either always gloomy or it's always raining. All right, with a lot of rock songs in the background and performances by the Blasters and other people, and it's really good. Let's see. So they're gonna go away, but Tom Cody's not the kind of guy who's gonna run away from a fight. So they get on a train to get out of the city, and along the way he tells his new right-hand man, which is played by a woman, and says, I gotta do something that I don't want to do. Right? Because in his heart he wants to run away with his girlfriend and have his own life. However, he loves her enough to let her succeed in her life. And I think, you know, it kind of teaches you a lot about love. You know, it's not just about what you gain, but it's how much you give, right? So but then he doesn't want to talk with her about it. He doesn't want to say, hey, you shouldn't go with me, and well, now it's gonna be a long fight, long conversation. So literally, he just punches her out. You know, he just punches her, and she gets knocked out, and that's their conversation. It's kind of crude. I mean, you shouldn't hit a girl, obviously, but in this movie, it makes sense. That's why you have to see it. And of course, he comes back to fight Willem Dafoe's character, and the hero wins, and she gets her fame back. She performs at the end of the movie, and he just walks away. I mean, that's just the gist of the film. There's nothing complicated about it, but the style, the music, the setting, the acting, Bill Paxton in this movie too, and it just works out perfectly. Simple movie that is shown so great. And when I watch it on Blu-ray, really, it doesn't look like a movie was made 33 years ago. Right? It's something that would still work today. So please, all right, please, Walter Hill, instead of do Warriors, okay, as a TV series, but you gotta bring Tom Cody back on the screen. All right, maybe you could do the 3 movies that you wanted to do 33 years ago. Maybe do it. All right, bring the rock and roll back. By the way, whatever happened to rock and roll? Back in the 70s and 80s, rock and roll was great. Now it was taken over by rap and whatnot, but yeah, let's bring rock back. Let's bring the rock and roll flavor back again. I think that'd be good, right? And again, the song "Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young." Whenever you're down, listen to that. It will get you up. In fact, there was a time when I had to go to San Francisco, and I live in the LA area. For 6 hours, they took me to go to San Francisco. I listened to the soundtrack over and over and over again. That's how good it is. All right, so please check out the movie. And if you've seen it, let me know what you think. What was your favorite scene? There's so many of them, memorable scenes. Please comment below. If you have not seen it, please check it out. All right, thanks for joining me. Go watch my favorite movie of all time. All right, see you next time.